Ladies and gentlemen, across the world, many individuals are faced with the big challenge of unemployment. Here in Kenya, unemployment is a big issue and everyone is talking about it. On this episode, we are going to talk about unemployment in Kenya and some of the solutions that we are going to offer to you who is watching and also to us here because we have an employed guy here.
We are very, very much unemployed. That's not an issue. At least we find solutions to such problems here.
Yeah. So my name is Gail and welcome to this new episode. And
my name is Emiliano Rinto. And as he mentioned earlier on, I'm pretty unemployed. Employed at the same time.
Yeah. You are unemployed on the field where you went to school.
Yeah,
right?
I'm very much unemployed in whatever I went to school for. But in other, I can say side hustles rather. Self-employed.
You're self-employed, right?
Very much self-employed.
Yeah. So stay tuned here on the Gale podcast. Also, we are also a good group here. Sure, you listen to this. I'll see you, yeah. So that you get the ins and out of Iko Kazi Ke, the biggest page on the 254. You can follow us on Twitter at Iko Kazi Ke. Listen to us on Spotify or any other online platforms at Iko Kazi Ke. And yeah, we're giving you solutions where you think there's a hill. We're making our way through it. I'll see you. So yeah, Emilian.
Talk to me.
You went to school? University?
Yes, I went to school. University of Nairobi, graduated in 2015. That's day practice.
No, day practice.
Bro.
That's nice. A doctor who's unemployed. Kwani daktari wa mitishamba?
Like mimi si wale wakwenda kugoma mko streets. Serikali tupe kazi. No. I would say it's a bit different from my case as a microbiologist, biotechnologist. I would say like the field is not that populated. Like you say, CC field, the industry busy. But at the same time, hakuna opportunities. The opportunities are quite limited to an extent. But unapata pia sometimes we as the younger generation tunapata passion, we get passionate to other things that we feel like, okay, I can do better in this or that. Or rather, this is what puts food on my table.
Yeah.
And that's when you decided to like develop new passions, new skills towards this particular passion thing that you're passionate about.
We'll get into that, into the new passions.
Passion.
Coming back to microbiology and what you went to school about. How was the experience going through school? How was it for you?
I would say school was fine by me. It was not that bad. Of course, there are factors that happen in the academic years. Of course, things happen here in and out. But I would say like the academic process was smooth. No issues whatsoever. After graduation, that's when the issues start. Nasema like tamaking. Sijui kama una understand what tamaking is. Unatafuta kazi. Kazi hakuna. Ama kazi kama iko hauna connections. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It's not easy to find employment, especially locally. Then unapata like there are so many terms that are associated with getting a particular job that you cannot unaambiwa lipa do fulani ndio upate job, right? Like, or you have to have a godfather in a particular institution or government organization for you to get employed. Yeah. Which you don't. People who have such people in the system get called for. Underqualified people wanapata kazi. Ama unapata kazi but you're being underpaid. It doesn't go to cater for your basic needs.
Okay, before you dive that deep into it, now, after finishing university, how was it the first few years? Because 2015 to now, it's approximately 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years.
Now, for the first few years, did you apply for jobs? Did you do anything related to that field?
I can say already by the time I was in campus, I was still doing other things that I was... Okay, I know we were supposed to get back to the things that I'm passionate about later on, but I was already into
what your other passions.
The other passions that were... You know, whenever you're in campus, things happen. You meet new people, you meet new ventures, you meet new experiences. So while I was in campus, I remember I started engaging myself on various cultural activities in the university. I would start doing modeling. I did contests for the Mr. and Miss, whatever. Then whenever you contest in such, you get exposed to the outside world. So while I was still in campus, I was Mr. and UN back then, 2013. Then in that process, I happened to venture into the external market, whereby I will go modeling commercially. I I would get called for by various agencies for high fashion, commercial modeling, and even TV host jobs. So this is something that developed while I was still pursuing my so-called career. Yes, so in the process of, I was still in campus, second year, third year. By the way, I studied for 5 years. You understand, like microbiology is a bit technical. So I engaged myself on this other, should I say, side hustles?
They're side hustles.
They are side hustles because by then there was nothing much to do. You only go to school then. So I started venturing into these other things. I would model and I would get paid, and I was like, whoa, this is something. So every weekend I would get gigs. Weekends I'm like, I know I'm sorted for this entire month, because every weekend I would get something out of it. This grew. This developed into something that I was like, maybe this is something I should do. Well, I will graduate, I will pursue, I will have a degree, whatever course I'm pursuing, but this is something that I can do because I'm already establishing myself.
You already know what you want
I'm already
to do.
gathering roots here and there in this field. I did that for some time, ventured into TV, and that's when I realized, like, okay, this is what
you're passionate about.
This is what I'm passionate about, and this is what pays me the most. You see?
Okay.
It works best for me. And like whatever I'm pursuing, which by that time I was like, it's gonna take like 3 years before I graduate, before I get a job. So at that very same time, I was still doing other things. Okay, but looking at it critically, I was taking other people's jobs. Because there are people who have studied media and journalism.
You're filling a gap that is not meant to be filled by you.
I'm filling a gap that's not meant to be filled by my qualifications or rather expertise. So I was doing TV hosting and TV producing and all this kind of stuff, yet I didn't pursue that.
Wait, hold on that. Before we continue so much into it, make sure you subscribe to our channel here at Iko Kazi Ke. Listen to us. Make sure you subscribe to our online listening platforms here on the Iko Kazi Ke podcast, brought to you by I am Gail, of course, and
I am Emilian Mirinto, and you can hit us up at our Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook handle at Iko Kazi Ke.
Iko Kazi Ke.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Certainly.
Yeah, so during the end year party, I happened to meet a certain group of called Wasojali Band, and I identified one particular artist by the name Kelechi Africana. And I was like, I would like
a little bit audible so that our viewer will...
Okay, so sorry about that. So I identified a particular artist which who I was so concerned about. I was like, I want to mentor this particular artist to be who they are today. And I can say over time, the rest is history because he's an already established artist. Then that was it for my first particular project as a company, Lerento Films. There were so many things that happened in between, but with time, the industry was corrupted somehow. We'll have just like, I wouldn't rule them out, but I'll say just like me, there were so many quack producers and video directors, whereby like people would undercharge, people would do mediocre content out there, and I would say that damaged the industry locally, to be specific, whereby like there were so many people didn't appreciate the value for film. People didn't appreciate the effort that comes in putting a production out there. So the industry was honestly scrapped and bruised to some extent.
So the industry was on its deathbed.
The industry was on its knees, whereby like you could barely earn a living. And that's when we come to this discussion. That's why we come back to this discussion about unemployment in film. I decided like, should I take a break from the industry, or should I proceed and push on harder than it has to be? So I took a break for some time. During that time, I considered like, should I go back to pursuing what I graduated for, what I pursued in school? I applied for over 200 jobs. I swear to God, only a few came through. Some weren't like things that I wanted to do. I wasn't so comfortable getting into this particular position because whatever I felt like I deserved to be paid for wasn't
what you're getting.
Whatever the offers I was getting.
The offer, yeah.
So I decided like, let me take some time to rethink myself. And yes, I did. Took like 5 months off the industry. Then I applied for other film jobs, something that I'm passionate about. I applied for various film jobs, and I got a calling for one of the biggest Hollywood productions as a DOP. And I can say that's one of the major projects that I did this previous year, 2020. Then COVID happened. You understand the industry was much affected by the COVID situation. The pandemic happened. Actually, the pandemic was one of the biggest hits that we have encountered in over, I don't know, very long time. But I can say the industry is still recovering. Unemployment is, the industry has no value for money at this very moment, because you'll find that people want to do photography, people want to do videos, but whatever they're offering for the services is way less than the services that are required for you to execute that particular project.
Okay, as we finish up, tell us your biggest challenge that you've really encountered in the last 7 years.
First of all, it's not a regulated industry locally. Internationally, it is regulated. And you'll find that most people, let's say your particular clients, most of the discussions, they're not fixed. The rates, industry rates are not fixed. It's subject to discussion like, hey, what do we agree on? Most people will run away with your balances. Most people will lie to you. Most people will give you empty promises. Like I said, that's the biggest challenges. Then the other challenge I would say is that a client will tell you they want this, but once you deliver the final product, they will say like, no, I thought something different. Those are some of the challenges. But then the other challenges is basically the government. It's an expensive venture for a fact, whereby we have to do a lot of licenses for you to be able to become like a in-house, like a full-fledged production unit. You see, you have to pay a lot of licenses to the government, to the county council,
whenever you're
to
shooting,
the film regulation commissions, Kenya Film Commissions. There's so many costs that you have to incur before you can be recognized as a production unit. Those are some of the challenges, but the challenges are enormous. The challenges are so many, but those are some of the big challenges that you face on a day-to-day activity.
So yeah, that's just a story of one Emilian Lerinto who has experienced unemployment in the 254, and we're really hoping that you get to tell more and more stories and encourage you that you're watching that there are opportunities out here, even though they're not as close as they ought to be, but we're encouraging you mazee, usi lose hope, au sio? So yeah, make sure you subscribe to this channel, talk to us, tell us what are your views, and also recommend to us some of the sites that people can get employed to, au sio? So yeah, thanks for coming, bro.
Much appreciated, and I'd like to tell the audience that whatever you're doing, so long as you're passionate about, so long as you have the heart to push on grinding by the day, never give up. Keep on pushing. By the end of it all, it will always pay out. Or if it doesn't pay out, you might think of an alternative to do whatever you like, you feel you're comfortable on.
Yeah.
And well, that's all for me today.
Yeah. So thank you so much for watching and listening. See you on our next episode. Adios, merci beaucoup.
Over and out.
So yeah, guys, welcome back to the biggest podcast in the 254. I'll see you. Iko Kazi Ke is our message, and we're just spreading it, the good vibes from our same. See, lose hope, because you know what? Iko Kazi, most tunazileta, I'll see you. So stay tuned on our pages up if you get some inspiration stories. And Emilian, as you were saying, tulikuwa tumefika place ya
welcome back, guys. And
yeah.
Sisi hawa tunaendelea na story ya passion and whatever I pursued.
Yeah, whatever you pursued. Now tulikuwa tumefika place and you're telling us about your passion, because you developed a passion back in university.
I did. Yeah, while I was in campus, I developed a passion for film and TV. But in the process, nili have like one mentors that walinipatia like the knowledge I needed to get to execute whatever I was doing. So it was good. It was okay at first. You have to have someone who knows much more about the industry, or who has more knowledge of whatever you're trying to pursue. Ndo akufunze ama akumenta. It was okay. Then after some time, of course, huwezi pata jobs until you have a certain certification. So I took a short 6-month course in film and production, which is it was a bit squeezed in a way, because like you have to learn a lot within a very short time. Yeah. But in that time, nilipata collapse on to very major production units. I got called up for BBC, Big Cat's Diaries. I know you know Big Cat's Diaries. It is one of the biggest best-selling documentaries in the world. So I happened to be a DOP, director of photography in BBC, Big Cat's Diaries. That happened. It's a documentary. It was good because of the certification that I got. Nilipata your job. I get.